Hey everybody, it's Zach. Welcome back to the Heroverse. And guys, we are back in again with another Marvel Legends unboxing. And today we are going to be unboxing the Marvel Legends Uncanny X-Men Savage Land Professor X. This is the Target exclusive figure. Really glad that I picked this up. I actually picked this up the week of Sinners. Went out to Target and I actually came across this. I know that they also had another Target exclusive Marvel Legends that came out. I think around the same time of this figure. I believe the Jean Grey Uncanny figure is coming out, I want to say around July. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if this was supposed to come out in June or this was supposed to come out in July, but they dropped it in June, and I don't know if they were supposed to drop both of them together, but I'm pretty sure the Uncanny, Target exclusive X-Men Jean figure, I believe, is supposed to drop in July the last time I checked. But they might have moved them both up, but I have not seen that Target exclusive Jean Grey figure. I just came across this, and perfect timing too, because I actually just did an unboxing for the I think it's 100th anniversary or 80th anniversary Professor X in the hover chair. I just picked it up at GameStop and I did an unboxing. It's up on the channel if you guys want to go check it out. Or maybe you watched it and then you're coming to watch this after you were done watching that. But that was a fun video to do. But the reason that really motivated me to buy this figure is because I think the paint apps on this figure, and I think also the fact that this head sculpt for Charles Xavier, I think, looks a lot better than the one that was like the re-release of Professor X in the hover chair. I mean, that wasn't pinless. That had pins on his joints. It wasn't pinless joints. This is a pinless figure, which I really do like the pinless figures, because they're just overall better with articulation when they're pinless. And I just think that the newer Marvel Legends have better painting, have better, features. And this figure for sure looks 1,000 times better than that figure. I like that figure, but I'm actually thinking about putting this Professor X in the hover chair and taking that one out. I want to know what you guys think about that. I was going to put that other Professor X that I had in the hover chair. I was just going to put him in like a standard wheelchair, or try to get like a wheelchair and put that figure in it and put this one in the hover chair, because I think if I'm correct, Professor X at the end of X-Men 97 wore the Savage Land outfit. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I'm right on that. I could be wrong though. But this is the front of the packaging. Here is the back of the packaging. And like I said, we're about to get into this unboxing. Let's get into it. And all right, guys, let's pull them out. I did a pretty good cut, I should say. I think I did a really good cut at the bottom. I'm getting better and better at doing that. So let's just pull them right out. Yay, let's go. I'm very glad. Like I said, I've been getting good. The box intact. I'm not trashing or like ripping up the boxes from the back trying to get it. Let's go. I've been getting really good with opening up the packaging. But like I said, here's the front of the packaging right here. Here's the back of the packaging. I really do like the retro card packaging. I'm liking them a lot more now that I'm able to open them the correct way with the X-Acto knife. So I'm very glad. I've been liking them a lot more. Not to say I didn't like them before, but I was like, damn, it's a shame, because with normal Marvel Legend packaging, you can open up a figure and close it back up without tearing the box with a retro card. But since someone corrected me saying get an X-Acto knife, cut from the opening down below, make a little square up, and then you can peel it back and then pull out the figure, and that's what I did. But here's the figure itself. He looks really good in my personal opinion. I love this face sculpt. It looks really cool. I do like also the Cerebro helmet a lot better than the one that came with the hover chair. I think it looks a lot more formed better for his head than the other one, because with the other Cerebro head that came with the Professor X and the hover chair, I hate how like the kind of the there's like almost like extended wires that cover his eyes, and I don't really like it. This looks a lot more contained, a lot better, so I'm really excited to try that on this figure. He comes with a kind of Cerebro, him like activating his powers, which I do like that a lot, like an activating powers hand. And he has two open hands, kind of like, it looks like trigger hands. I don't know why he has those, but it looks like he comes with like two trigger hands. And he also comes with two fists that are on right now. I'm going to keep the fist on the other hand and have him doing this. That's how I'm going to have him. But let's just take him out real quick. Let's take out the helmet. Let's take that out. And let's take out the power using hands. All right, we're going to keep those trigger hands in there. I'm not going to be using them, but as you can see, they are indeed looks like trigger hands. I don't know why he has those. I don't know why he has those, but whatever. Someone maybe explain that to me down in the comment section. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Feeling this figure, I'm not impressed. I do feel like this feels very cheap plastic a bit, and I've never said that like about a Marvel Legends really, but this does feel very, the plastic feels a bit cheap on this figure. I think the paint work, and I think also kind of also the wrinkles on the jumpsuit look incredible. Like, as you can see, it looks fantastic. Like the wrinkles on the legs, like the scrunching of the pants, the scrunching of, you know, the rolled up sleeves here, and just the wrinkles all over the jumpsuit look amazing. I like how he has the red X's on the side, the X-Men logo, cool. And like the best part about the figure is the face sculpt. Is that face sculpt. It looks incredible. Very, very well done. I'm very impressed. I think it looks, the coloration on it looks really, really good. I'm excited to put him in the hover chair. I think this is going to be the one I'm putting in that hover chair, just because he overall has a better, like, appearance. I actually am curious to know if this, I think it does come off, the head sculpt. Does this come off? It does. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I actually am, when I get home, I'm actually going to take this head sculpt and put it on that pinless Professor X in the suit in the hover chair. I'm actually going to try this head sculpt on that figure to see if it looks better. I think this one will look better on that body, but I am a little bit worried that this head might be a little bit too big compared to that one, but I'll have to check it out when I get home. When I do, though, I'll probably take a picture, drop it up on my community tab, and kind of show you guys what it looks like with this head sculpt on that body, and maybe that head on this body, maybe vice versa. I'm not going to do, I feel like doing it vice versa is kind of dumb, because I don't think that would look better on this body. Compared to this head looking, I think it would look a lot better than the one that they have on that Professor X figure in the hover chair. So, like I said, great looking figure. Like I said, my only gripe is that the plastic feels a bit cheap. I don't know why it feels that way. This is kind of the first time I think I've said that about a Marvel Legend. It just feels it just feels like a cheaper plastic. It kind of feels like, you know, like when you have like one of those figures that feel hollow and the plastic feels cheap. It's just my personal opinion. I'm curious to know if you guys have this figure, what you guys think, if you guys think that the plastic feels cheap. But overall, I love the way this figure looks. He looks great. Let's take this. I think this is the left hand. So let's take his left hand off. Cool, cool, cool. Let's put on his power hands. Let's do that. Sick. Let's make him do that. Let's bend his wrist. I'm glad his wrist does bend back and forth, so he can use that power hand, so that's really good. Shouldn't be too much of an issue here. It's sort of giving me an issue. It's not really wanting to... That's probably the best I'm going to be able to do to get him to touch his head. All right, there we go, there we go. Sick. He looks good. He does look good. With him using his, you know, powers, he does look cool. That looks sick. So yeah, that's what he looks like. It looks really, really cool. And now I actually want to have him wearing the Cerebro helmet, so let's put that on. Yeah, this looks 1,000 times better. Oh, man. This looks really good. Okay. Yeah, look how great that looks. Trying to get a good zoom for you guys. Let's try to do that real quick. That looks good. I'm very impressed with how that looks. I'm going to do this real quick so maybe it'll focus in a bit more. There we go. I kind of want the, hopefully it focuses in. But yeah, he looks good. I do like the way that he looks with the Cerebro helmet on. It fits him perfectly. It doesn't look ridiculous. It's not covering his eyes. This is, I think, one of the best Professor X figures we've had in a minute, overall, with just the way the helmet fits him perfectly, how you're able to bend his wrist back enough where he's able to actually, like, touch his head. That's actually really cool. That's nice that they added that kind of, wrist bending. I do like that a lot, because before I feel like it was very, very hard for him to do that, but I like how they made it where he can actually do it. That's actually sick. There we go. Good zoom in for you guys. Yeah, he looks incredible. I'm very, very happy with how this figure looks. My only gripe is just the way the figure feels, like the paint. But overall, very, very satisfied with this figure. He is really, really cool, the Savage Land Professor X. I might just have him like this, kind of like fist out, him turning, maybe turning his head over this way, doing that. Unfortunately enough, also, like, this is a figure that you're going to need because he can't walk. This is one of those figures where you're going to have to actually have him in his chair. So I'm actually curious to see how the green, like, bounces off the nice yellow chair color. I think the green will actually, like, complement the yellow hover chair. So I'm actually just excited to go home and see how he looks in the chair. But yeah, he looks dope. He just looks really, really cool. Like, he was touching his helmet a minute ago. It's one of them things where you're just gonna have to mess around to get him to be able to touch his. There we go. Oh, he was doing it a minute ago. There we go. Sick. He looks good. He looks good, though. No complaints there. Besides, like I said, my only gripe is the texture and the feel of the plastic. But guys, I'm curious to know, what do you think down in the comment section below? Do you like this Savage Lands Target exclusive Professor X, or do you prefer the hover chair version of Professor X? I know there's probably some other Professor X figures. On the top of my head, those are the only two comic ones I know about. Besides the I think it was the Walmart exclusive with him in his armor. I know that there's another Professor X, and it's him in his armor, which is really, really cool. I'm debating on getting that one. I think it's the Shi'ar armored Professor X, the Walmart exclusive. So out of those three, which one do you think is the best in terms of paint quality, in terms of articulation, in terms of just overall look? Which one do you guys like the most? If I'm being honest, if they would have given me like this head sculpt and it being pinless on the normal suited Professor X in the hover chair, if you just had a better head sculpt, better and he was out without pinless, I think that would be a perfect like figure, like Marvel Legends Professor X. If he was pinless and he had had a better head sculpt and he came with a better Cerebro helmet, I think that that would be the star of the show. So it's one of them things where I'm really, really hoping that this head sculpt fits on that, because it will be like a lot better in my personal opinion, just if this head sculpt fits alone on that body without it looking like the head looking too big on that body, which I feel like that's what's going to happen, because this figure looks a bit big, like built bigger than that other, Professor X. But it's nice to have multiple Professor X figures, and, hopefully maybe if someone is selling just the hover chair online, maybe I'll just buy that and then just have two Professor X's in hover chairs. So I might do my research, see what I can find. But I'm curious to know, guys, let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you are new here, subscribe to the channel, put in notifications, and like this video. It'd be much appreciated. Also, guys, my Marvel Legends, I think part 6 or 7 shelf tour is going to be dropping this Saturday. I'm going to try to film that video sometime tomorrow or sometime on Friday, so keep a lookout. My goal is to drop it on Saturday. I want to drop it before Thunderbolts drops next Thursday, so that is the goal. Also, stay tuned for my Adam Warlock mini comic figure unboxing. That's going to be dropping tomorrow. I was going to be dropping this first, but I'm going to be dropping I decided to drop this first. You guys will see that because you guys will be watching it. But that is going to be dropping tomorrow. The Adam Warlock minifig unboxing will be dropping tomorrow, probably around sometime around like 9 or 10 or 11 in the morning. So keep a lookout for that. And then, like I said, my shelf tour video will be dropping hopefully by this Saturday. But as always, guys, hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.